Michael Jordan wasn't just the best player of all time, he was also the best trash talker. His intense desire for victory led him to not only want to bring you to ruin, but to make sure you knew it. 1. The blind free throw, MJ's MUTOMBO. 5 seconds remained in the Bulls' win over the Denver Nuggets on November 23, 1991, and Jordan and Dikembe Mutombo were having a good time at the free throw line. In other words, "Hey, Mutombo." Jordan says, "This one's for you," before closing his eyes and making the free throw with a broad grin on his face. 2. Shoot you effing midget, MJ's MUGGSY BOGUES. In 1995, the Hornets had a successful season under Johnny Back's coaching. Glenn Rice, Mourning, and Johnson. The series was knotted at 2 games apiece, and Game 5 was in Chicago, where the Hornets had a fighting chance. With the Hornets trailing, Muggsy had possession of the ball on the game's most important possession. After telling him to shoot you midget, Jordan stepped back. Muggsy took a shot, but he missed completely. Muggsy told Johnny Back a year later that he thinks that one play was the end of his career. His aim never got better. 3. He can't guard me, MJ's GERALD Wilkins. The Bulls used GERALD Wilkins, nicknamed the Jordan Stopper, against Michael Jordan and the Cavaliers in the 1993 NBA playoffs. But Jordan had other plans, dishing out baskets to Wilkins throughout the series and ultimately declaring he can't guard me after sinking a particularly difficult shot. 4. You know what's gonna happen tomorrow? I'm gonna give it to this dude. Michael Jordan vs. Clyde Drexler. Throughout the 1992 NBA season, Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler were frequently compared to one another. By the time the two met in the NBA Finals, Jordan was determined to put an end to the speculation by defeating his no-1 rival. After a night of card playing with Magic Johnson before Game 1, he predicted the outcome. You know what's going to happen tomorrow? I'm gonna give it to this dude. In Game 1 of the Finals, the Chicago Bulls defeated the Portland Trail Blazers by a score of 122-89, with 35 of Jordan's 39 points coming in the first half. He also established a finals record by making 6 three-pointers in the first half. According to Jordan, when my shots started falling from everywhere, I ran to the three-point line. Despite the fact that he shot only 27 for 100 from three-point range during the regular season and 5 for 16 during the playoffs. Jordan sat on the bench for the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, but the team still managed to score 24 points in his absence. Even the NBA's MVP was forced to shrug after sinking a three-pointer from deep, seemingly asking, "What can you do?" They were coming so fast and from such a distance. The Blazers' response was simply nothing. A zen state of mind, as Jordan put it. I felt like I was shooting free throws on the threes. Took them, put them in. The rout was tied for third largest in championship series history, and it was only 2 points shy of Washington's 117-82 victory over Seattle on June 4, 1978. This much-hyped individual matchup between Jordan and Clyde Drexler, who scored 16 points for the Trail Blazers, was a complete and utter disaster. Jordan made the comparison on the eve of the finals, pointing out that Drexler attempted 338 three-pointers during the regular season and made 114 of them. Jordan claimed the Olympian from Portland was a better long-range shooter than I choose to be. 5. I got him. MJ shuts down Allen Houston. Even though it was only a practice, it will forever be remembered as a legendary moment in basketball annals. Where the greatest team ever assembled competed at the Olympic Games in Barcelona in 1992, they easily defeated all other competitors. The Dream Team featured several of the NBA's best players, including Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, and others. In international competition, no team even came close to defeating them. But in a closed practice scrimmage, a group of rising stars from a nearby college managed to hang an L on the superstars. The late Chuck Daly, coach of the United States Olympic team, wiped the scoreboard clean so that the media wouldn't see what had happened, though many believe Daly actually lost it on purpose. Grant Hill, Allen Houston, Bobby Hurley, and Chris Webber beat out the NBA All-Stars 62-54. Later that day, before the rematch with Allen Houston, Jordan allegedly said, "I got him," pointing at Houston, and then didn't touch the ball for 2 hours. The kids were brought back to earth by Dream Team's devastating defeat of them. 6. Is he big enough? Jordan vs. Utah. Jordan dunked on John Stockton in a game against the Jazz in Utah. Larry Miller, owner of the Jazz, yelled, "Pick on someone your own size." His next possession resulted in a dunk on 7-0 center Mel Turpin, after which he yelled, "Is he big enough for you?" before sprinting back up the court. 7. Jimmy Jackson wearing Jordans. Kemble Gill told a Michael Jordan anecdote during a Heat Nets Summer League game. Jim Jackson, then a member of the New Jersey Nets, couldn't keep his mouth shut during a 1996-97 season game against Michael Jordan and the defending champion Chicago Bulls. My great friend Jimmy Jackson, who is a great player, Big Ten Player of the Year, two-time All-American, was giving Michael Jordan the business. Oak maybe had 25 on him in the first half, Heel said, referring to a game between his team, the New Jersey Nets, and the Chicago Bulls. However, Jimmy has continued to irritate Superman by talking nonsense. Michael must have gotten tired of Jimmy rambling on and on. "You know you're talking a lot of stuff to be having my shoes on," he says to Jimmy as he looks down. That's the best retort ever. Jimmy had nothing to say in response. 8. I told you not to trash talk me. MJ vs. Derek Martin. While still in their expansion year of 1995, the Vancouver Grizzlies somehow managed to take a fourth-quarter lead against the eventual 72-win Chicago Bulls. About 2 minutes from the end of the game, guard Martin ran by the Bulls bench after making a junk shot to increase the Grizzlies' lead, and he yelled, "I told you we were going to beat you tonight." Almost instantly, Jordan got to his feet, checked himself into the game, and said to Martin, "Little man, I told you not to trash talk me," as he strolled onto the court. After scoring 19 of his 29 points in the final 6 minutes, Jordan looked to the bench after scoring and said, "Shut up, you little bitch." Jordan then went on to single-handedly destroy Vancouver. After scoring 19 of his 29 points in the final 6 minutes, Jordan looked to the bench after scoring and said, "Shut up, you little bitch." Jordan then went on to single-handedly destroy Vancouver. 9. I'm the best player in the world. Michael Jordan was OG Mayo in high school. OG Mayo was a highly regarded high school freshman, and Jordan says they'll be facing off against each other at camp. In addition, I had never even met the man. This is the first time anything like this has ever happened. He makes a scene in front of my camp, claiming that I can't protect myself and that I can't do what I'm being asked to do. Since this is where my campers are staying, I can't exactly just up and leave whenever I please. So we call it a day and put the kids to bed. When we resumed play, he announced, "You can't guard me." So I told him, "You may be the best high school player, but I'm the best player in the world. Henceforth, consider this a learning experience." A lesson had been learned, and it would not be forgotten. They always lost to him. I put up the ad, I sent out the emails, I did the whole thing. 10. Winking at the bench was Jerry Stackhouse's 76ers. Rookie sensation Jerry Stackhouse of Philadelphia, widely regarded as the next Michael Jordan, had bragged earlier in the season that he could beat Jordan in a one-on-one matchup. Against the Sixers, Jordan scored a season-high 48 points and after almost every basket winked at the Philadelphia bench. As Jordan put it after the game, basketball taught Stackhouse a lesson. "I heard on CNN that somebody said I made a quote that said I could beat Jordan one-on-one," said Stackhouse, a native North Carolinian who had played against Jordan at Chapel Hill. "I didn't say it, and I won't take it back. Maybe I mentioned that I didn't think anyone could beat me in a direct confrontation. The following thing I know, I'm in Chicago than Jordan." 11. You're a loser. MJ destroys Rodney McRae, the most competitive player I've ever seen, a former teammate of Michael Jordan told Sports Illustrated. That's why he's the best player in history, in my opinion. For all intents and purposes, he has rendered Rodney McRae, our reserve forward, useless to us. The insider claims that when they are on opposing teams in scrimmages, Jordan is in Rodney's face, screaming, "You're a loser." You've always been a loser. Rodney is so exhausted he can hardly jump right now. Even though he played on average only 15.9 minutes per game that season, McRae still managed to win championship. It was also his final year in the league. That's it, folks. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more NBA content.